Yeah, 8:30. He should be back by 8:30. I just want to get in the shower. I'll make sure to close the season. Shower and then at least in bed by at least 1 minute.
All right, you ready to do this podcast now?
Wait for my mom.
Can you cut the light on in the kitchen? All right, buddy, I'll see you when you get back, okay? All right. Yo,
It's gonna go on his countdown and the video and then it'll pop up.
okay.
So you probably got a couple minutes.
Yeah, it says 2:15. I'm watching. All right. All right, bye.
I've been over here steady talking. Audio was down and off.
No problem.
The
Welcome
whole
to the party.
intro probably got messed up. Hey, let's start this again. I apologize, folks. Tonight we've got an interesting Game Time 915 as we break down the playoffs matchups between Burgess and Brewer and Andrus and Summit. So we're going to start with the Andrus Summit game. So when you look at that matchup between Andrus and Mansfield Summit, what stood out to you the most?
The guard play and the pressure on the ball. That was the deciding factors in the game, I think. The guards got to make great decisions,
Yes.
and it at times didn't seem like they were quite involved in the game.
Yeah, that first quarter really killed Andrus.
Yeah.
That was their 20-4, 16-point spot. That's a tough one to come back from. And I think if that doesn't happen, Andrus has a very good opportunity to upset the defending state champion.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the way they played the second through the fourth quarter, they played it close.
Yep.
Give it that the other team kind of took their foot off the gas a little bit. It looked like
Yeah.
in the game.
They started holding their ball.
Yeah, they held the ball and kind of took themselves out of the offense as well. If you look at the way Ortiz was trying to get the game going, until like the third quarter, then he got taken out the game. He kind of like never got back in the swing of things again.
Yep.
Their big man never really got going. He had a good game, but it was quiet. You know, you couldn't feel his dominance on the game. That changed their mindset altogether. 35, I forgot his name, but he worked hard, but he was in foul trouble, as he tends to do a lot. He got in foul trouble early in the first quarter, and never really got a chance to come back in. And then when he came in the third and the fourth quarter, he found himself. He was the ball handler.
Yep.
He was running the offense.
Yep.
I think styles of play changed the way that the game went. I don't know. You tell me what you think, Steve. So when we were coming up and you were playing ball, everybody on the team wasn't looking to be a scorer. We had role players.
Yep.
And those role players were willing to do the hard things like sacrifice themselves on screens. It wasn't so much about going one-on-one and go get your basket.
Yep.
Because a lot of players don't have that capability.
Nope.
And that's kind of how everybody's playing right now.
I will say this. Mansfield forced Andrus's third, fourth, fifth ball handling options to handle the ball. And I think that was the deciding factor early on. Because you saw Carmine Machekovic, their big guy, trying to handle the ball on the perimeter, and they were just taking it. It was causing turnovers after turnovers after turnovers. And they forced Andrus to have to play a different style of ball than they've had to play all year because of the pressure. Because Summit isn't big. They're not a 6'8", 6'9" front line. They're not a big team. But their guard play, it was just, that pressure was relenting.
Yeah. Agreed.
And so I think that was really the deciding factor for Andrus was when Mansfield turned it on, they had no answer. Like when they went to that full court pressure, it was turnover after turnover after turnover. And then they were knocking down threes like everybody on that team can shoot threes.
But if you notice, though, that style of play was primarily in the first quarter.
That
Throughout
first
the
quarter,
rest of the
and when Andrus cut it to 6, Mansfield went on a 25-14 run.
14 run, yeah.
The end of the third and the fourth quarter, and it was all their runs were propelled by the 3-point shot.
Mm-hmm.
Mansfield plays a lot like Duke. Want to put a lot of pressure on the ball, shoot a lot of threes.
Right. But they were getting open threes. They weren't even
Yes.
challenging.
They
were
weren't
just wide
contesting.
open.
Wide open.
Yeah.
And they got at least 4 or 5 guys that can flat out shoot that thing. And so, I mean, that combination of pressure defense and perimeter shooting kept Andrews from ever getting back into the game and ultimately sealed it for them.
Yeah, I think the closest Andrews got was
6. They got to
6?
6. Midway through the third quarter, they cut it to 38-32, and then Mansfield went on that 25-14 run.
Yeah, it was. You could see that they were fighting uphill the whole time.
Yep.
After that first quarter, they dug themselves a trench, as we say in the military. They dug themselves a trench and they never got out of it.
Yep. Definitely. And so here's where the story actually gets interesting. If Andrews wins that game, the regional final is Burgess versus Andrews right here in El Paso.
Wow.
Let that sit for a second. So instead, Summit wins, and now Burgess is going to have to go back to Midland, to Midland to play the same team that knocked Andrews out.
So let's talk about that matchup for a minute, since we know that's
We're
what
gonna
it
get
is.
there. We're gonna get there.
Okay.
We're gonna get there.
Okay.
We're gonna get there. I want to give Burgess their flowers for winning that game. Let's transition for a second. Like you brought that up. Let's transition to this. Burgess keeps finding a way to win, man. They just keep finding a way to win.
Are they the Cinderella?
I think they might be a Cinderella story, man, for real.
Yeah.
Because let's think about this. Their last 3 playoff games have all been decided by 4 points or less.
Wow.
And 2 of those required them to come back in the fourth quarter. They had to come back in the fourth quarter. And it was all fueled by Anthony Rubio. They call him Ricky. But his name is Anthony Rubio. All fueled by him. That tells me something about this team. They're comfortable playing in tight games. They're comfortable playing.
Gonna be good.
Yep. So what does that say about Burgess mentally right now?
They're ready. They should be focused.
Because here's the thing, right? So a couple weeks back, Andrews beats Burgess by 30.
Different team now.
Exactly.
Totally different team. Yep.
And and here's the thing, right? Andrews tried to play Summit up and down the court. They tried to do that. Burgess in their game against Brewer shrunk the court. They only gave up 40 points. Like their defense, to give up 40 points, their defense has been rock solid. And that was the one thing that everybody said about them going into the season was, can they play defense? And they've shown probably the last month that we can play defense.
It's perfect timing to get it right, though. You're in a dogfight now. So I'm looking forward to that game. I think that's an impressive feat for them to come from where they were last time we saw them to where they are now.
And so think about this. So they were down 2. Rubio hits a 3-pointer to put them up 1. 41-40. And they knocked down free throws to finish the game.
Oh, wow.
The game before that, he hits a 4-point play to win the game. I don't know what just happened. I lost
So
you.
they're battle tested right now.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. That team is ready to go. And so kudos to First off, I'm going to say this for myself. I'm not going to speak for the whole show, but
Okay.
I'm going to speak for the whole show. I don't think anyone at the start of this high school season, let alone make the playoffs, let alone finish second in the district, I don't think anyone thought Burgess was going to have any say in what goes on this year in basketball on the boys' side. Like for the last 3 years, they've been the kicking stomp for 5A. And to do what they have done this year, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Their coach deserves to be coach of the year.
Turned them all the way around, that's for sure.
In the whole city. He deserves to be coach of the year. And Anthony Rubio is player of the year.
That I can agree with 100%.
He has done what everyone said or thought that he couldn't do.
Yep.
He started playing both sides of the ball and actually relied on his teammates to help him win. And so kudos to him for buying in and to that coaching staff for what they've done.
You know, we kind of had the same conversation when they came and they played
Can you tell?
played in the nest. We were talking about the same concept and how he had bought into the team and learned how to play, not only for himself, but to make everybody else around him better. And his teammates, they stepped up too.
Yep.
So, yeah, kudos to the whole team for not only making it this far, but growing. And now's the perfect time to come to the masteration of the team's effectiveness, is because right now they're proving to everybody what they're made of, which is great.
And there's a lot of folks, not just myself, that counted that team out at the beginning of the year. Let's transition now. Now the big question becomes the matchup. Burgess faces Mansfield Summit with a trip to the Final Four on the line. Mansfield Summit is the defending state champion. This is their sixth straight year of making it this far, going 4 rounds deep in the playoffs. Like that team, you saw them play. Like, explain what you see as their strengths.
They have 2 or 3 jump shot shooters that can shoot if you allow them to be open. I can't say that I know what their threat is if they're challenged, because we didn't see that.
Yeah.
They got a couple of players, but they're kind of undersized in the post. I think that could work into Burgess's favor. I don't know. They handle pressure. They make good decisions. They run a fast break pretty well. Make decent passes, but they don't seem like world beaters. I think I'm going to give Burgess got to have a chance, man.
Oh Lord.
They got a boxing chance.
Oh Lord.
I didn't see a world-beating team. I didn't see a team that you should go out there and be terrified of. You know what I'm saying? But again, the first quarter decided the game.
Yes.
So we didn't see a chance to get them to see if they were battle tested, to see if they could handle this pressure. It didn't kind of work out that way, because once Andrews started playing with them, second quarter through the fourth quarter, it kind of looked evenly matched.
Yeah. So the Summit did show something against Andrews. They showed that they can change a game quickly with perimeter shooting and defense. They showed that. Now, but Burgess has shown that they can slow a game down and win defensive battles. Holding Brewer to 40 points in the semifinal was impressive. So my question is, can Burgess handle Summit's pressure and keep this game at their pace?
I'm going to say yes. The reason I'm going to say yes is because the guard play, when the last time I saw them, their guard play was more solid
Okay.
than I think they get credit for.
Okay. They do have more ball handlers.
They got at least 3 for sure that can handle the ball consistently and make smart decisions.
Here's the thing about Burgess that I like. They're actually playing 5 guards.
Yes.
Rubio is just
guards
6'5". Huh?
But they're playing big guards though.
Yes, Rubio is 6'5", and the other kid is 6'5", 6'6", but they're both guards.
Yep.
And that's going to be I think that size and length is going to be a problem, because the big that Mansfield does have, he's wide. He's not big. Yes, he's wide. He's not tall. And he's going to have to guard a guard. And then the other big that they have is going to have to guard a guard that can put the ball on the ground and attack. And so it's going to be interesting to see how Burgess attacks this defense, but they've got to handle that pressure. If they can handle that pressure, they definitely have a boxer's chance because they can shoot the ball. They can shoot the ball. And they've got enough shooters that if they can handle the pressure, this may be a closer game than a lot of people are anticipating. But I will say this. Chapin beat them bad. Andrus beat them bad. Both them teams play like Mansfield Summit. So hopefully that was enough of a precursor to prepare Burgess for the type of pressure that they're going to see. But yeah, this is going to be a tough one. This is a tough one for me because I do think that if Burgess can handle the pressure, they've got a chance to be in the Final Four, which is crazy to say because no one saw that coming.
Yeah. I'll tell you why I'm leaning towards Burgess. I think Burgess, one of the things you just spoke about was the size.
Yep.
If you're playing a 5'11", 6-foot guard against a 6'2", 6'3" guard that can handle the ball, Burgess has that advantage.
Rubio can shoot over almost anybody on their team.
Anybody he wants to, he can shoot it over. On top of, what if those guards start playing post ball and they slow the game down?
Yeah.
That changes that whole game.
Yep.
And another advantage I think they may have, Andrus was getting to the basket.
They weren't finishing.
They weren't finishing.
Nope.
That won't be a problem for them. If they can get to the basket, they're going to be able to finish.
Yep.
They got that one big guy on Manchester's team, that the one that had the dunk.
Yeah.
He's about the tallest gentleman that they have on their team.
Yep.
Well, you talking about Burgess' whole team is that size.
For the most part, they have a very, very long lineup. Let me see something. And so it's going to be interesting. I do give them a chance. As crazy as that, for me to think about that now, because at the beginning of the year, if you told me that we were going to be looking at this, I'd looked at you like you were crazy. I really would have looked at you like you were crazy. They don't have the heights in here. But I do know that Rubio is 6'5", and they do have the other guard is like the same height as him. And then the rest of them are like 6 foot, 6'1".
6'1", 6'2".
Yeah, so that length, it's going to be interesting. I don't even know what to say, man. This is crazy that no one, I mean, no one. We thought we'd be talking about Chapin, Eastlake, even Andrus. At the beginning of the year, we thought this conversation would be about Andrus. And for it to be Burgess, it's just kudos to that team, man. Kudos to the staff, the players, like for believing in themselves when
Most
nobody
definitely.
else did.
Most definitely.
So Burgess will play Mansfield Summit Friday, 3 p.m. at Midland Christian High School. I plan on being there, but I know that Midland Christian may stream the game. I know that they streamed out the Andrus game, unless UIL gets on them about streaming that game out on YouTube, because you're actually supposed to pay for that. I don't know if they paid or not, but they did stream it. But there was no commentation or anything, so that's what makes me think that they didn't.
It looked like the game was, I don't know, because you could hear the people talking.
Yeah, it was a huddle cam.
Huddle cam. Okay.
Yeah, it was a huddle
Yeah, it
cam.
looked like it was.
But they didn't have any, like, I don't want to jump into this right now, but you're supposed to have commentary and all that for the UIL games.
Right.
And that wasn't it. So I know that was why I was like, okay, I think they just streamed this and didn't even ask. But they're not a UL team, so they like, you're using our gym, we streaming it.
Yeah.
But I will leave the conversation with this. Is this the best playoff run that we've seen by an El Paso team in the last 5 years? I'm going to let the fans think about that. Bring it up on social. I'll drop the question on social as well once we end this. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I'm gonna say that I'm impressed by what we've seen. I would have loved to have the two teams play here in El Paso, but having Burgess stand up and represent, I'm down. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. But hey, folks, this has been another episode of GameTime 915. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you guys on the next time. Be blessed. See you later.
Hands up high when the clock ticks late. 915 strong, yeah, we dominate. From the town to the lights, remember the name. Game time 915, this bigger than the game.